China likes to make very big advertisements. Beside that, many of the advertisements are also flashy and made with LED lights. It's very noticeable. This advertisement has a very creative ad placement. It is easy to spot, and you will remember this advertisement because it stands out from the rest. It's popular to see Western models in China. They are doing this because it's showing a high class and finesse. We noticed that there were more Western models than Chinese models on different ads. Once again, we have a creative ad. Those hanging banners are easy to spot no matter what floor you're on. The banners also reminds of the North. It has a Nordic design.
Looking at the GDP, it is not at the desired level. The reason is that factors in the aggregate expenditure equation are not increasing as much as China needs them to. The export is no longer increasing as much as in the past, and the import keeps increasing. This results in a drastic drop in the current account. Their fixed asset investments are also decreasing because China's labor force has gotten more expensive. Because the unemployment rate is decreasing, more quality labor force is demanded. This means they are less competitive compared to other countries in means of production. The consumer spending is increasing at a stable pace, and government spending is also increasing more and more. China's GDP growth is decreasing because of their export, import, and fixed asset investments. If these factors were as positive as the consumer spending and government spending, then the GDP growth could be considered satisfying. The reasons for the decrease in the current account and fixed asset investment could be the trade war between China and the US. The US has a huge impact on the Chinese economy because they have been a key partner to China's export through the years. After Donald Trump became president, he made it clear that he wants the US to trade less with China. Therefore, China lost a lot of their export and had to focus on something else, which then became their consumption.
Both the import and the export are increasing between Denmark and China. The regression analysis of the Chinese exports to Denmark shows no result because the coefficient of the determination is too low. The numbers vary a great deal from year to year. On the other hand, the Chinese import is quite accurate and shows an increase on about $0.3 billion each year since 2010. Which can be expected to continue in the near future, the short-term future. China's imports from Denmark are increasing quite a lot. The exports is also increasing because not as much as the import. There is a higher chance that China will look towards Europe instead of the US when it comes to export. Since the US is no longer as interested in importing from China, it is possible that Denmark and China will trade more in the future.
The young generation will have a very positive effect on their development, as they are buying a lot of Western products and services. This is making a bit of a westernization of China. In China, digital branding is key. They use a lot of other apps than in the rest of the world. As an example, WeChat and Youku, the Chinese versions of Facebook and YouTube. Placing ads in these apps might help a lot with letting people know that you have started up in China. The Chinese use the internet and their phones about 8 to 10 hours a day, and they mostly buy from web shops. Using the Royal Crown of Denmark might also help a company with gaining status and strength. But it is most important to keep the quality of the product up as we do in Denmark.